Well, welcome back to the second hour of LoveBabz, LoveTalk. I'm Babz Rawls-Ivy. Hey, Ross Hamilton.
Hey, Babz. How you doing?
I'm so delighted to have this conversation with you today because I don't think it's been a while since I've had y'all on to talk about Juneteenth.
I know. Last time I talked to you was on the porch. I don't think it'll take a long time for me to forget that one.
Oh my gosh. Well, we'll be back on the porch soon. As soon as the weather act right.
I know.
As soon as we get the weather to be consistently not October.
I know. All right. So this is Juneteenth at 230 Ashman Street.
Okay, we could do better than that. Harry, I sent you the flyer that they have. If you could put it up at some point, that'd be great.
Thank you. I'm still, not quite that literate,
No, that's all right.
I was trying to figure out how to get the best Juneteenth information I find, thanks to Cliff Graves giving me a tip, was the National Museum, African American History and Culture. A lot of Juneteenth information is right there, and that's where I got mine because I haven't read the Juneteenth book yet.
Oh, I did. I read it. Somebody gave it to me as a birthday present.
Oh,
it's a sliver of a book. It was really good.
Okay.
And it starts with the history in Texas, and how it grew from that. And I was fascinated by and I should have pulled it for today. I was fascinated by what I learned. I had no idea the deep, rich history of Texas and how they pretty much got the rest of the country to sort of get into the Juneteenth movement. So, hey, Kelly. Hey, Don.
Hey, Kelly.
Hi there. Hi there. Good morning, everybody.
So,
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. So, Don, we're not going to see you. We're just going to hear you.
No, Dom, hold on. I got it.
All right, so give us thank you, Kelly, for the email on you sent me the Descendants of the Connecticut 29th Colored Regiment, and you talk about this upcoming event, and so connect the dots for me. So the planning of the Juneteenth is the Descendants of the Connecticut 29th Colored Regiment, the Amistad.
Yes.
And who else is in this?
Okay, so and technically we have two more partners. So we have the Kiyama movement, which is spearheaded by Michael Jefferson. And then we have Hands On Moving and its CEO, Xavier Richardson, as our partners. So we have four partners, but my goodness, in the community, we have Neighborhood Housing Services of New Haven at the table. We have some folks from New Haven Public Schools at the table. Trying to think, Yale University is represented at the table, and Gateway Community College. We have a lot of community support for the event this year, and we are super excited about it.
Yes. Well, I want people to know, since y'all been doing this, there have been other Juneteenth celebrations across the state. And I'm seeing new places, like I think Norwalk has one. There's a couple of places, Hartford. I'm very excited by this. And because I remember having a very troublesome conversation with somebody who's no longer in this city who said, I could only get behind one Juneteenth event. And I was like, why? Like, why would you say that? Like, we should be having Juneteenth celebrations in every community, everywhere, all across the place. Like, it shouldn't just be one. It should be several, because everybody brings something different to the celebration.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's so many different flavors. When you look at, I'm supporting a Juneteenth celebration in Danbury, and the focus is art. When you look at what the folks do in Bridgeport, it's big on African American food and live music, right? Stratford is doing something new this year. So it's to your point, even in New Haven, last year there were several Juneteenth festivals, and everybody did something different. Some people focused on the church and the choirs in the church. Some people only focused on food, and because y'all know we love to eat. And I think it's fantastic that there's so many different festivals and all doing different things, and people tend to go.
Concat is doing a festival this year too, which I think is new for them.
Wiley told me, Wiley Mullins, remember Wiley?
Oh my God, how is Wiley Mullins?
Wiley's fine. He's on his way to China. He's going to come back with all kinds of new, product things. But he wanted to let me know that Newington or Newtown is having their own Juneteenth celebration.
Excellent.
So, okay.
So tell me about the planning of this particular Juneteenth celebration, because y'all been at this for a good while. This one is happening in Ashman Street, right? Am I right?
Yes, 2:30.
Right there in that beautiful park. Talk a little bit about what that's like, because I think it's called, what is it called? The Connecticut Violence Intervention Center.
But a lot of people know it as the community center.
Yes, that's how I know it too.
Right. Right.
So tell me about that planning.
It's been planned.
Tell me about.
Kelly gets us together the day after the event happens, starts planning for the next year. So this has been going on a while, and she's like the planner extraordinaire with, maps and charts and tables, and, it's great. It's great to have somebody that takes that role and can, keep us all in line.
So what can we expect this year? What's the theme this year? Is there a theme?
Yes, there is a theme, and actually, Babz, I think you connected the dots a bit before when you were talking about all the different other Juneteenth events that were going on, and a lot of the awakenings that are going on. One of the things, and Roz, give yourself credit, because yes, Kelly is definitely stirred the pot, but Roz, you hosted the post 2021 lessons learned session for last year that became the impetus for what we're doing this year.
Right.
But really, Babz, to your point, the theme this year that we wanted to emphasize was a bit of a renaissance amongst our people, looking, backwards, but also forwards. Looking, at perhaps 100 years ago, the Harlem Renaissance, some of the great authors, Zora Hurston Neal, Langston Hughes, others, great thought leaders of the time, W.E.B. Du Bois, Marcus Garvey, Ida B. Wells, and what were the things that they were looking at then that provides us a better lens for what we're looking at now. And a lot of it just seemed to all come together, as Kelly mentioned, with the different sponsors that we do have, and just the general love that was coming from everyone else in the community towards making what had been done in previous years, and this is the 6th year doing it, bigger and better. This is the 2nd year with us at Ashman Street too. So we have a bit of a connected, building off of what we did last year for the first time at Ashman Street for a 2nd year in a row.
I love it. So you got Rashawn Langley performing throughout the day.
We do.
He performed last year, didn't he?
Yes.
He did. He's been with us almost every single year. So
and you have a DJ. You have a DJ?
We do. So we have D Event from Triple Threat DJ. They're out of Waterbury. They will be there. We have actually something new for this year. We have 6 local college admission officers who will be at our event, and they will be spending time with interested rising seniors for free. All kids who are planning to go to college, they can spend some time with admission staff from Yale, Southern, UNH, Quinnipiac, Gateway, it's not that kids have to be planning to go to those colleges, but they're going to be receiving support with their applications, their application essays, and if they want to, they can practice their elevator speeches for their interviews. So that's new for this year, and that's something that we hope we can continue to do each year.
And William
and it's
Fluker's
not
going to be there.
Yeah, we're going to have Bill Fluker playing some good music.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and you got stuff for kids?
Oh gosh, we have a ton of stuff for kids. We have face painting, and we have a puppet show that's all about health, and it's just focused on kids. We have the Soul Cycles, who will take kids on a bike ride through the Newhall area, stopping to focus on stops that are prevalent for our history. So he'll stop, one of the stops he's doing is at the Masonic Lodge right there around the corner on Gough Street, because when that building was originally erected, it was a school for Black children in New Haven. And he has a plan to stop at other stops and talk to kids about why we are important to building New Haven and making it what it is, and what their role is, right, as they move forward, because they're going to guide us. We have a special guest. Our theme is Harlem Renaissance, and actually Roz helped us to make a connection to Cab Calloway's daughter, Cece Calloway, and she's going to join us.
She lives here, doesn't she?
Sometimes she's been in Maryland with her older sister helping out, but she's back and forth, you know.
Okay.
So she and Michael Mills will come. Michael will do the drumming, and I think Jeff Fletcher will do libation and have a little bit talk about his exhibit, his new museum, and his ongoing, you know, warehouse of museum pieces and memorabilia. And I think, you know, it's going to be great. There's going to be a couple of artists that are there with their works, and you know, hip hop rap people doing what's it called?
They're going to do their thing. They're going to do spoken word.
Yeah,
spoken word.
They're all New Haven kids. Yeah.
All right. So tell people who might not know what Juneteenth is. Tell people what Juneteenth is and the significance of it, and why we are celebrating. And now it is a bona fide federal holiday. Which
I know.
Sure.
I don't know if we ever asked for that, but here it is.
Here it is. Here it is. So, and everybody join in. So Juneteenth actually celebrates the day when Union troops went into Galveston, Texas, to make slaves aware that they were free, right? And then that awareness came 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation was issued. And, you know, we think about the Jubilee, right? That happened almost instantaneously once those slaves were made aware that they were freed. But for us, our group that's planning this event, it means so much to us because just that one instance of the 2-year delayed, like, recognition that these slaves were free, it just reminds us of the consistent delay of freedom for Black people in this country, and of course in our state, even down to our city. And when we reflect and we plan our Juneteenth event, yes, we focus on the festival part, but we also talk about and we hope that we include what freedom really is, and we focus on modern day aspects of freedom, right? That financial literacy, education, employment, health, right? Opportunity preparedness. And we bring all that into our festival every single year. So for us, it is a party, but it also has a purpose.
So the sad part is, you know, people in Texas, you know, they were getting drips and drabs of information, you know, like maybe freedom had come. But what are you going to do? You're enslaved, and you're in a state that's a Confederate state, Texas. So it took them, once they had decided that, you know, we better help these people in these Confederate states, because the Emancipation Proclamation was only freeing enslaved people in Confederate states. Okay, the rest of them were going to stay enslaved until something else happened, which was the 13th Amendment. But they had to have Union soldiers come and say, now listen, Texas, I know you want to keep this slavery and free labor going forever, but no. And we're here to enforce it. And we're going to make it happen, whether you like it or not. And people started, taking their freedom and actually purchasing land and making plans and having celebrations. In the readings, they say that people started buying, property and making it into, a park or a field and say, this is going to be our land to celebrate this day, going forward. And so that's why, you've heard of these things, but I don't think there's too many in Connecticut. Emancipation Park. They have emancipation parks like all over the country. And these are the parks that they call emancipation parks because that's where they have their party, their big get down on June 19th, starting in 1865.
I love that Emancipation Park.
I do too. And I've seen some emancipation parks. Now this is the new twist on Emancipation Park. People around the country in more recent times, because Juneteenth celebrations, Juneteenth kind of comes in and then it fades out. And then something will happen like last year or 2020, incidents happening around Black. We're gonna do Juneteenth again. We're gonna celebrate freedom. This is all about our freedom and we can be free to do whatever we want. Well, they were saying that in places like Oakland, the new gentrified neighborhood is like, hey, cut that noise out. We don't want that. Let's change the zoning and everything so they can't do that in this park because we live here now. They're like, oh no, this is our park. We're gonna have drummers and everything else, motorcycles and anything else we want over here. And they did the same thing in DC around U Street. And I said, what? I remember that controversy around U Street. That's when they started changing parking for the Black churches, and there was no place to come into town and go to your church because you couldn't.
Oh
park.
yeah, and I'm so glad you raised these points, Roz, because these are the things that sort of lock us out of our history. These are the things that rewrite our story when they legislate us out of existence, because that's really what they're doing. When they say you can't park on a particular street because we don't want you to go to that church because we don't want to hear that music on a Sunday because we being not people who not Black people, or this is Emancipation Park, but we don't want it to be Emancipation Park, so we're going to rezone it so that y'all can't do what you think you're going to do. So Juneteenth becomes quite critical in that regard, I think, to reminding people of the hard-won gains that people of color had to get to just get to this moment.
It's worth the celebration. It's worth remembering, and it's worth partying around. Definitely. Just remember the history of why we have it,
And we've already started to see that the merchandising of Juneteenth is happening.
Oh my God, yes, Don.
So we certainly have to counter that narrative by continuing to, just educate folks and add a did you know, to their memory banks. There's going to be so many vendor resource tables this year. There were a plethora of them last year, and it was great. I love having some of the banter with young people just after they were visiting the different resource tables last year. So I can't wait to see the engagement, with even more resource tables covering everything that our community needs, from, the critical health needs of the day, whether it's both vaccination related or just general health and having a primary care physician or having access to health care and making that more prevalent, or at least providing the knowledge of that throughout our community. And that's, some of the great things that we're providing during Saturday, June 18th.
I'm excited. We're going to have information about a mental health resource table.
Absolutely.
By one of
my because Connecticut just the governor just signed a bill around access to mental health and making it accessible and part of your care.
Yep.
So talk to me about food, because I think the last time I was there, was it last year? Did we have Juneteenth last year? We did.
Yes,
we did.
And we had
same location.
We had Lucky was doing the food. Who's doing the food this year?
We have Lucky returning.
Okay, all right, okay.
We do, and then we have Ricky D's Rib Shack.
Oh yes, they're over here on in Science Park.
Right, Winchester.
Yes, yes. So they're gonna come, and then we have another food truck coming. Trevor, and I apologize, I can't remember the name of his truck, but he's coming, and he has fried fish and Georgia hots, and all those good foods that we like to eat. So this year, rather than one, we have three, and we actually are doing an information session on COVID and the vaccine and the benefits of the vaccine on Thursday, June 9th. And Ricky D's has been asked to provide the food for that event as well.
Oh, that'll be great. That'll be great. Okay, so people can show up for Juneteenth. They're going to get access to some information. There'll be things for children. There'll be employment opportunities. Talk a little bit about that.
Sure. So what we did is we connected with the Black Business Alliance in Hartford, and then we solicited several local agencies just in New Haven around the city, asking for folks to come out and accept applications for vacant positions. So we have everything from the FBI to LULAC Daycare who are going to come and accept applications. They may interview and they may even offer jobs right on the spot for people. The Black Business Alliance will not be offering positions, but they will be preparing us to get ourselves ready to apply for positions. They're going to be talking about resume building for those who are interested. They're going to be talking about headshots for electric profiles so that prospective employers can see who you are. And they're also going to be talking about elevator speeches with folks so they can make their introduction as they walk into an interview. So we're excited about that.
I love it. I love it. So each of you, tell me why this day is going to be important and why people should come and enjoy the day with y'all.
We're fun. No, I think, the day is, it's historical, right? So, Jeff Fletcher comes and he brings pieces from our past, right? Slave shackles, KKK robes, things to remind us from where we were. And then right next to him, we have employment opportunities where folks tell us where we could possibly go. So when you think about our day, and we have some music in the background, we have line dancing with Zen, the day is filled with so many different things, and it's intricate, and it reminds us of each of us who we are as Black people. We have so many different facets that make us who we are. We like to have fun. We get down and handle our business. We are understanding how important it is to take care of ourselves with health. There's something for children, right? We're just real focused on the party, but also real focused on our history and our present. And we hope that people also take the day to think about relationships and moving forward. So for me, it's super important. It's a part of New Haven's history as well. The Black soldiers were camped right here at Criscola Park, who helped to fight for our freedom. And it's like I said, it's a day of remembering our past and then focusing on our future and having fun while you do it.
Mm-hmm. And you have yes, go ahead, Don, and build on what Kelly was talking about.
No, I was just going to add to that this is organically ours. I mean, I've seen this now for a couple of years, and I see how this is New Haven and its roots in the community, bringing together all of those different aspects, both from what we need educationally, what we need in terms of job focus, job training. I saw things last year in terms of vendors there helping with offender re-entry into society in terms of building those bridges there. There are so many necessary bridges within our community that are being built at this one venue, this one forum. that it has legs, that all of us need to be involved in supporting. So that's where I kind of look at it in terms of really being a mission statement for that Saturday on June 18th from 12 to 5. No matter what you're doing in New Haven, please come by and stop. You know, we'll be there, you know, throughout the day, and there's going to be something for you, whether you're 8 or 80. There's something for you there.
I like that.
People
All
come,
right, Roz.
People come, bring their, I was happy to see people coming by and they whip out their lawn chair and they're out there on the grass. And, you know, one thing we learned from last year is we better have some canopies out there because it gets hot. And if we're lucky enough to have a hot day, like last year, which was a little too hot, but, you know, people enjoy just being out and gathering together. And there are folks walking by and there are folks that just say, come on in. And then they see something happen and they come in, you know, they come inside the fence. I mean, it's a fenced in area. That's important to me because I got a 1.5-year-old and he just takes off. The last festival we went to, I almost had the police chasing me because I let the kid go. I couldn't find him. And so, you know, it's fenced in. So that's the good part for people that bring their families. It'll be a nice, safe place to be.
I love it. So talk to me about the vendors. Like who do we got for vendors? Not the information vendors, but like, what can I buy?
There's a woman that comes up. Go ahead.
You go.
There's a woman that comes up and has African outfits and they are gorgeous. And I can't remember, is she from Sierra Leone or somewhere else? But she lives in Jersey, drives up from Jersey with Chief Alston's wife.
That's his wife. Isn't that his wife?
That's his wife, their friends. Okay. Yeah, so they come up together and they set up a beautiful couple of tents with items and jewelry.
I know, I'm saving my money right now, Roz, because I bought a few things last time, but there were so many things I wanted to buy. My wallet wouldn't grow any more money. So
I'm telling you, and you know, tell me who else, because I can't remember all of them, but that's the one that sticks out most in my mind.
Yeah. Okay. So if you need Afrocentric accessories for your wardrobe, this is the place to stop by then.
I love that, Don.
Yeah, she has it. So we have somebody coming with waist beads. Those are gaining popularity now. So we have somebody coming with so we have someone with waist beads. We had somebody coming with the creams, the shea butter, the soothing creams. So we have someone coming with that. We have somebody coming with personalized mugs, and she can do them on the spot. Mugs and mouse pads if people still use them, t-shirts. We've some artists vending black art. We have several, three artists vending black art. My goodness, we have some of everything. We have cosmetics.
I'll be getting a custom mouse pad.
Oh boy, you see.
And I'll probably
we have something for everybody.
Some art from Iris Thompson. Iris Thompson does some amazing work. Yeah, she does some amazing quilts and all kinds.
Put another envelope aside for some art now.
Oh yeah, you got to put the envelope aside.
Oh yeah. Sprinkle some water on your wallet, Babz, so it might grow.
I love that. I love that this is such a family-oriented opportunity for people to gather. And you know, coming off the pandemic, people are thirsty for opportunities to just gather as a community because we were locked down for 2 years, and so to be outside and to hear good music, to eat good food, and just see people we haven't seen in a while, I think is a good idea. So tell me about the location and why this is such a great location.
I think the best part is that it's right in the center of the community. It's adjacent to the Wexler Grant School. And it has, when people get hot, they go inside and cool down a little bit. They have indoor toilets. And we have, this field, and it's really whatever you want to make it, it's there for us to have and do. Parking,
accessible to the community. Yep.
And it's in the community. It's right there. People step out their door and come across the street. That's
and there's
that's
other
part of it.
parks nearby. There's other parks nearby too, to offer,
Right,
outflow
Scantlebury Park is very near.
for engagement. Yeah.
Okay. And it's walkable too. Like people can just walk into
Right.
the park.
Right, you can
It's
walk.
not-
It's close to Newhall. It's close to Dixwell.
It's on the bus line.
Right.
Shout out to Leonard Jihad, who is the executive director of that building, and he really does open the doors for us,
Yes, he does.
and he allows us to have access to the space. And so when we talk about the college essay piece, those admin reps from each one of those universities will be inside in a quiet space so that kids can focus and get the most out of that visit. He opened the doors for us and everybody else to use the bathrooms. And we were at previous sites where we've had to either rent the portable toilets or literally knock on the door of a church to say, can we please use the restroom? And so to have Jihad treat us like family and welcome, which is right, the spirit of the day. It's all about the Black family. And welcome us into their site the way that he has. We felt like we had to go back.
Yeah.
For him, we might go back every year, but
I know.
Listen, and you all had folks there. This was at the last year when we were still at trying to get people vaccinated. So you had people there doing vaccinations.
Yeah.
and we will do that again.
Which was no easy feat in those days because we were
Right.
sort of like, oh no. But now I think people have really settled in their mind that it makes sense to get vaccinated. So
Yeah, I hope so. The other thing is we have like free hot dogs and drinks for the kids, the first 100 kids that come, or 150 kids, I can't remember, that come
150.
to the event. And so that's one reason to get there when it starts at 12. Come and get something to eat if you're a
get
kid.
something to eat and drink, right?
Something to eat and drink. That's right.
Oh, I love it. So give people some we're about to wrap up. Give some people some pearls of wisdom about why this is important and why they should come and participate. I mean, we can't stress that enough.
No, it's like a family party. It's a family party. If you didn't have a cookout Memorial Day and 4th of July, well, like Frederick Douglass says, what is 4th of July to the enslaved, to a person who's enslaved? You're celebrating liberty. Do I get liberty? No, I'm sitting up here, serving you. I don't get liberty. So why am I celebrating the 4th of July? But that's such an amazing quote when he said that. I think freedom and liberty are those things that we have to cherish and celebrate always, and particularly now when people are trying to snatch liberty away yet again.
Yes.
And I think everybody is starting to pay attention to it. And this year we have some real special sponsors with Yale University sponsored us, several different offices at Yale HR, the Gilder Lerner Center, Yale Police Department, the Schubert Theater, Howard K. Hill, the Community Foundation, the Prosperity Foundation. We had so many people in the community this year come out, and some of them reached out to us to say, how can I help? Neighborhood housing services. So Juneteenth is becoming a popular conversation piece. And as much as it is important to celebrate and have a party, it is, to Roz's point, important to really focus on liberty and what that truly means in 2022, or even in some aspects, what that doesn't mean in 2022. But on this day, we get to focus on us and us only. And that's important. It's important to have.
Oh, I love that. Us only. Focus on us only. What do you want to say, Don?
Oh, no. To continue the theme, I know when we celebrate Juneteenth, we're celebrating freedom. But as one of our elders said, freedom ain't always free. And that's the spirit that we need to inculcate. We need to germinate the seeds of within our community, because it's a continuum of continuing to fight for those things that we hold dear to ourselves. So, and this is just one part of it.
Registering to vote, registering to vote, and take your civic liberty, take your civic responsibility and go to the polls on election day. Talk to the candidates, ask them what they're going to do for you. Those are the things that we have to instill in the next generation, because if they stand on the sidelines and say, oh, they don't do anything, or that's not going to work for me, then it won't. It really won't.
Well, I so appreciate the conversation. I'm a huge fan. I will be there. The last couple of years I've been there, and I've done interviews and talked to people. We broadcast on WNHH on our Facebook page live, and I think we're going to be able to do it this year, just so people can see like this is what's happening. And people really who couldn't come really enjoyed that. So I'm happy to do it. So thank you all so much for a wonderful conversation on Juneteenth. It's going to be
wonderful. And if your kids get some community service points, just have them call me, and I'll be happy to write the letter, because it's running out of time now. We're talking about June 18th. You need to get those points in so you can get promoted.
There you go. So Saturday, June 18th.
From 12 to 6.
There you go. And where's it going to be?
230 Ashman Street at the community center.
That's right. So be there or be square.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Kelly, Rosalind, Don.
Thank you.
I can't wait. I'm already ready for y'all to come back next year, but I will see y'all at Juneteenth.
All right, we'll see you Juneteenth.
Ready. Yes.
Thank you. Looking forward to it. We're excited.
For the culture.
That's right.
Bye-bye.
All right. Harry Jones, play us out. Thank you very much. And I will make sure the flyer gets
Harry,
all across social media. Thank y'all.
Thanks so much.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Oh.